Hey, good morning. This is Tuesday, September the 16th, 2025. This is Death is not a death sentence. Also, too, I want to put a disclaimer out there. This is for entertainment purposes only, just to try to protect the channel. But however, view at your own discretion. Um, I'm at the park today. I go to the park every single day. It's a beautiful thing. It's peaceful to me. So if you hear like some little kiddos in the background, they're out here playing this morning. The ones that don't go to school, they're the little cuties. Uh, please don't let that distract you. They on the slide, they on the swing, they're doing their thing. And keep in mind, it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. So I guess mom and dad they took them out here really early before the sun hit. To be really hot. So all my children are grown, thank God. So I know the feeling. But anyway, I want to, I was sitting up here thinking, I was just like, hey, listen, maybe I can get on here, and just say a few things, I was thinking yesterday, that, I really, when I start this channel, I really want to help people. I don't care if you're Republican, independent, Democrat, or whatever you are, strong liberal, radical, whatever. I don't really care because we all lose people, right? People, everybody from the whole spectrum. We got people that died that we love, right? So therefore, I just wanna help people that that are grieving, that are suffering, and that need peace in their mind, because of the things that I went through. My first video, which was yesterday, and kind of tell you a little bit about myself. So if you want to, you can go to the first video, and I share a lot about what happened to me, and I'm just not on here like, oh, uh, uh, saying things that I have not been through. So, anyways, you know. Like I said, I'm fairly new at this, so forgive me. I'm talking everything from my heart. I'm not reading anything. It's not a script. Everything that I'm saying is coming from myself, and so therefore, I just look at it like, you know, um, I think that a lot of people ask me. They say, "Hey, listen, when you die, or when they say you said death is not a death sentence. Do they see us? Do they see us having sex? Do they see us going to the bathroom in the shower? Listen, it's not what you think it is. It's not like they're sitting up there staring at you like, oh my God, let me look at this person. No, it's not like that. It's just because the way where they are, they don't look at it like the way we are. We look at it in a human way. They don't look at it like that. They just look at it like, hey, that's just human nature. They don't look at it like us. So no, they're not just standing at you having sex and doing your intimate moments or whatever, whatnot. And even if they were, they're not looking at you like that. They're looking at you. Your body is just doing this human nature thing. So, I get that question all the time. I get, what else question I get? Do are they here all the time? Well, I'm quite sure no one is there all the time, but I'm quite sure they do show up or whatever. To the point, I'm quite sure people hear knocks on the door because they do knocks on walls and on windows and on doors. They do little stuff that you wouldn't even think. Sometimes they even turn on light bulbs. You'd be like, no, you know what? I left that them lights were off. No, 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 that light was off. No, sometimes they turn on light bulbs, and sometimes you hear knocks on the walls or knocks on the door, or something might just fall, just tip over, and you're like, oh my gosh, what the heck, But that's just them just telling you, hey, listen, I'm here, I'm here, and everything like that. And a lot of times, when we're in so much sorrow, we don't look at signs, we don't look at any of that, and people think they only come around when after the funeral or when they just die. They're there all the time. And another question people ask me, hey, listen, okay, so when they get cremated or they get, and they get buried or whatever, whatnot, are they still there in the ground? Um, Physically, they're in the urn. Physically, they're in the ground, but they're not there spiritually. People have to understand. And I always tell this to people. The graveyard is for humans. They're for the living. The graveyards is for the living. They're not for the dead, because the dead is just not sitting there in the graveyards and just waiting on to be risen. I mean, they're not there. Their bones and physical, things, they're there. Excuse me for the dog, but like I said, I'm at the park and it has a dog park as well. But yeah, so yeah, they're not just sitting there. You got to think about the graveyard have it's millions of people that came before us. I mean, oh my gosh, so many people. So, if you look at every inch of this earth, I'm quite sure it was covered in bodies or whatever, whatnot. It's more people that died in this time. It's more people that died over in this whole entire time that we probably have earth. It's so many people that has came and went. So, I mean, if you think about it, wouldn't that kind of be silly to think that millions and millions and millions and probably billions of people that came, that they all of them are in one little grave sharing it together? No, they're not there. So the graveyard is just for the living. It's for people to come there and worship, and not worship, I'm sorry, but come there and mourn and and feel better, and whatever the situation is. But I will tell you this, it's nothing wrong with going to the graveyard if it makes you feel better. But you could talk to them anywhere you want to, in the bed, laying down, walking down the street, you talk to them wherever you want to talk to them at. It doesn't really matter. They hear you. You can write them a letter, and if you don't have the words, write them a letter. They can read your letter, or they just know what, they know what's on your heart, and unsolved things. Maybe maybe you got somebody that died, a parent, or a child, or a brother or sister or something like that, or family member, or just a loved one that maybe y'all was not on great terms when they died, or maybe you got some unresolved issues and things of that nature, and you just you just wish you would have just told them how you felt, and really just told them, or just really just want to tell them, hey, listen, I never told them I loved them, or I'm sorry, or or whatever, or you hurt me, and but I forgive you. The best thing to do is just put that in a letter and write the letter, and then when you get through writing it and everything like that, just tear it up in pieces and burn it to the universe. Just burn it and burn it to the universe, because they they know they don't want you to be sad, and most definitely, regardless of what they said or what they did, they are truly sorry for how they treated you. For some strange reason, they get a lot of clarity after you die. You get clarity. It's like boom, it all rushes back to you. You don't feel that hatred. You don't feel that, you know um you just don't feel all that negativity and everything like that. It's like your eyes are open. It's like, everything just start rushing back. Your eyes are open and you forgive and you love. When I was up there in heaven, the love was so great. It's better than any love on this earth. They talk about a white light, right? But the light that I saw was so much bright that it was brighter than anything on this earth. So I look at it like, I chose to come back. I didn't have to, but I chose to. And I had very little children at the time, and I chose to come back. But nevertheless, oh, I wanted to tell you guys, my name is Yolanda. So normally I was like, what, should I give my real name, or should I just make up something? Or but I said, nah, I'm gonna be honest on this page about everything. If you want to know anything, if you want to talk about anything, leave it in the comments. I'm willing to answer any questions that you have. Trust me, I will reply back to you. And I just want to be able to help someone. It's not about profiting or anything like that, because I didn't start this channel to profit anything. I started this channel just to be able to help people, just to help people, and just, deal with grief, and let people know, like, hey, listen, you your loved ones miss you just like you miss them. How do you get past it? Keep living. You got to keep living. You got to keep living. You got to keep going. Um, through God's grace, through Jesus, and you will, I promise you. But I want to I'm going to wrap this up, and I want to just say, hey, God bless everybody, and have an awesome day. Have a great day. Um, May God continue to bless you. If you are in sorrow, or if you are in mourning, and you don't have no peace in your mind, I just pray for your peace in your brain and your mind, and just, your knowledge, your clarity, and all this other stuff. And I just pray for you to just be better and happier, and it will pass. I promise you. Anyway, this is Yolanda signing out, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day and have a blessed day.